25 on your side at 10 starts now.
Several counties in Illinois under a winter weather advisory for accumulating snow until midnight. Most of those end at midnight. And there's another chance of snow Saturday along with bitterly cold air.
I think justice is served. He's admitting accountability for the things that he did.
A former pediatrician pleads guilty to trading drugs for sex with patients and defrauding insurance companies out of tens of thousands of dollars. Plus, calls for accountability days after racist graffiti was found in the city of Riverview.
Why are we still dealing with this in 2025?
The plan introduced by leaders to end the hate. Thanks so much for joining us at 10. I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush has the night off. Dangerously cold temperatures are just 48 hours away. Meteorologist Jim Castillo in for Scott tonight. Jim, you're also tracking 2 waves of snow tonight.
Yes, we sure are. You know, tonight it's the Illinois side, Kelly, that had this. Now, this is Litchfield at about 7:30 p.m. So that snow already accumulating on the ground. It continues to snow. Laura, thanks for sending that in. Some nice holiday decorations there. So Macoupin County, Montgomery County, Fayette County until midnight. We continue with that winter weather advisory. Clay County goes until about 6 a.m. So we're starting to see that snow tapering off. Not as much blue in here, which would be more moderate snow at times. But again, lighter snow from Litchfield all the way to Mount Vernon, more of a mix right there. And we'll zoom in a little bit more. There's Fayette County, Ramsey, everything's white on the ground there through Salem, Illinois. Everybody had a nice dusting to a couple of inches of snow in those areas. Now in St. Louis, it's been above freezing, 35 right now in Chesterfield, 36 in Sullivan, but where that snow's been falling, that temperature has been below freezing. So it's 34 right now in St. Louis. We still have not dropped below that freezing temperature. Wind chill at 25 coming up. We'll talk about that bitterly cold, dangerous cold air on Saturday and a chance of snow.
And our team has compiled a list of warming shelters across the bi-state, helping people stay safe. If you need it, just text the word warming to 314-425-5355. We'll send that list straight to your phone. Stunning development in a case shaking the medical community. Just hours ago, a former Bridgeton pediatrician, trusted by families for decades, admitted to crimes that betray that trust. Those crimes include trading pain pills for sex acts and cash. 5 Minute Side's Brent Solomon is live outside the federal courthouse after sitting in today's hearing. Brent.
Well, Kelly, today's hearing inside of this federal courthouse behind me, closing the window on a more than year-long criminal case, but opening new revelations into the pretty despicable crimes here. When asked if he's sure he wants to admit guilt, Dr. Craig Spiegel paused and then said, "Yes, sir."
Justice is served.
69-year-old former medical doctor Craig Spiegel admitting in federal court Thursday he issued controlled substance prescriptions, oxycodone and hydrocodone, to multiple women he knew because he was their pediatrician when they were children, all in exchange for sex, nude images, and or cash.
Abusers should be held accountable for their actions, and it starts with us.
That from our interview with one of the alleged victims last year, months after Spiegel had been indicted on 25 criminal counts. His guilty admission on 3 of those counts means the remaining will be dropped. He pleaded guilty to distributing controlled substances and making false statements on healthcare documents about his bogus prescriptions, which prosecutors say defrauded Medicare and Medicaid out of more than $114,000.
Physicians have an obligation to only prescribe controlled substances to individuals when the medications are medically necessary and in the usual course of professional practice.
Federal prosecutor Amy Sestrick tells me the former doc continued his scheme, knowing at least one of his victims had a substance abuse problem, putting her at risk of overdosing.
When a physician knows that a patient has a substance use disorder, they have higher obligations, and in this case, they were not only ignored but taken advantage of.
Spiegel faces up to 20 years in prison on the most serious charge. He's due for sentencing in 3 months. Live outside the federal courthouse, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Today, a man pled guilty to sexually abusing children at the daycare where he worked. Christopher Titus entered that plea in court earlier today. Police believe Titus sexually abused at least 3 children at the now closed Here We Grow daycare. He worked there for 7 years. Some of the families of those victims read impact statements before prosecutors recommended Titus serve 30 years in prison. A judge accepted that recommendation. Tonight, a house fire that took the lives of 2 children is under investigation. The Perryville Fire Department was called to a home on Bruce Street just after 7 this morning. They say a 2-year-old and 1-year-old were trapped on the 2nd floor. Both children were removed from the fire and taken to the hospital. They did not survive. The cause of the fire is now being investigated by the Missouri State Fire Marshal's office. Tonight, a woman is in the hospital after she was shot in front of her 1-month-old baby. Hours ago, St. Louis police updated us about their investigation. They believe the 25-year-old victim, her baby, and a friend were sitting in a car on Rutger when shots were fired around 4:30 this morning. This was the scene after officers found her suffering from a gunshot wound. Tonight, she is in critical but stable condition. No one else was hurt. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number, 866-371-TIPS. Today, a man charged with shooting a Granite City police officer was in court for the first time since his arrest. 5 on Your Side was the only local station with a camera inside today's hearing, which lasted just a few minutes. DJ Marshall is accused of shooting Officer Tyler Timmons last Friday. Today, Marshall waived his pre-trial detention hearing in favor of staying in jail. He's due back in court next week. Just hours ago, nearly a dozen leaders united to speak out against racist and anti-Semitic graffiti they say has been showing up for months in the city of Riverview. The city and state leaders shared their concerns during a news conference at the Riverview City Hall. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend was there and has an update on this controversy.
Kelly, we first told you about this disturbing graffiti on Monday. Now Riverview's mayor and many others are expressing their outrage and growing concerns.
A furious Riverview mayor Mike Cornell didn't hold back.
We will not tolerate this, and we will fight back and stand up for solidarity and for what's right.
Mayor Cornell says for the past 6 months, disturbing, threatening, and alarming hate-related graffiti have surfaced in their North St. Louis County community of about 2,600 people. The mayor says the racist and anti-Semitic markings have been found on city property, a federally owned bridge, and at least 2 churches.
You have a man trying to make a difference, and you get hit with all of this. And it's like, it's crazy. It's saddening.
In 2022, Cornell served as Riverview's first African-American trustee, then chairman in 2023, and now he's been the mayor for more than a year.
I ran for office and I did the right thing.
He admits he's cleaned up the community's longtime trash problem, tackled illegal drug dealing, and cleared brush from dozens of abandoned properties.
But everything we do is for the community. Residents have requested these things.
Changes Cornell believes have prompted opponents of his to now spread the controversial graffiti here and even send him online death threats.
I don't fear man because I feel like you want to live here until God take you out.
Riverview has become a whole community, a thriving community.
A community whose police remain on high alert for the graffiti vandals.
This is absolutely ridiculous. We're in 2025, and all that I'm asking is to give them a chance.
Mayor Cornell has also compiled a 90-page plus report detailing those graffiti incidents. He sent that to the Attorney General's office for review and says it will also soon be in the hands of the FBI. Now, if you see any graffiti, you are asked to report it.
A family torn apart after a father and husband is detained by ICE.
We were trying to do all the right things, and that's why we were blindsided by this.
The emotional fight to keep this family together and the word giving them hope.
Snow has been an issue northeast of St. Louis tonight, and more snow chances on Saturday, along with frigid temperatures.
Tonight, a Baldwin woman is fighting to raise awareness after her husband was detained by ICE. She describes him as a good man, and she's confused why he was targeted. New at 10, Jacina Coronel takes us to their St. Louis County home, where the mother of two plans to leave everything behind to keep her family together.
So Alejandro and I's little theme word together is siempre.
Siempre in Spanish means always and forever.
I mean, now more than ever.
A simple word is their family's foundation.
All of our fun family memories. So that is little Lexi. That was the day after she was born. And on the right side of that, that was our first picture of Luna and Lexi together.
Signs of their love visible in their home.
Oh, this is the day we got engaged.
Their love story began in 2019.
I knew nothing when I first met him, and I didn't even know that he was undocumented until we were dating.
Alejandro and Janie Perez tied the knot in 2020, had their first girl Luna in 2022, and then Lexi in 2024.
We fell in love, and we knew the risks of dating, but we also thought, oh, I'll be able to get him citizenship.
The couple learned Alejandro's history of crossing the border.
He tried to come across with his cousin, I should say, and his cousin hurt his leg really badly. And Alejandro was like, I'm not going to leave you. Like, let's just go back. And so they turned themselves in and were like, hey, can we go back to Mexico? And that was counted as a deportation. He didn't even know that that's what that was. But that is the big red flag on his record.
At the time, the attorney shared there's no avenue for Alejandro to gain citizenship with current laws of immigration.
We had so much hope because we were like, okay, let's right this wrong. Yes, that wasn't right to cross the border undocumented. We can't go back. So let's move forward.
They sought more legal advice.
We were told from immigration lawyers that he's not the kind of person that they're going after.
In 2023, another attorney gave them hope,
which made him be able to get a social security number and a driver's license in Missouri. And truly, we thought we were on a good path. We were trying to do all the right things. And that's why we were blindsided by this.
On October 23rd, Alejandro went to his new job. He called Janie.
Right when he got out of the car, I overheard them say, Alejandro Perez, we have a warrant out for your arrest. And he hung up the phone. And that was the last time I really saw him or heard from him for a while.
Detained for illegal re-entry, Alejandro is in a jail hours away as Janie and her family miss him every minute.
They're trying to get the worst people, the worst criminals out of the country. I'm all for that, you know? I think anybody who has a right mind would say that. But he's not in that category. Alejandro is, first of all, the most loyal person, the most hardworking. He works tirelessly for our family. I know ignorance is not a excuse to break the law in that way. But I think it's so important for people to understand there are so many more layers than what meets the eye. It is heartbreaking for our family to be broken up.
The idea is to not let that happen. If Alejandro has to leave, the entire family will move to Mexico.
We will do anything to be together as a family.
In a rare moment, Five on Your Side caught a glimpse of their new reality. Alejandro video chatted with Janie from jail.
Hola. How was your morning?
The same. I don't want to be here anymore, you know. Sometimes I want to wake up and be at home, you know. That's crazy.
I know. But I'm still here with you, and we'll make it to the end. It's not going to be forever. Look at Dada. Hi, Daddy. Hi.
I miss you.
Janie hopes this is all over soon.
I love you, love. I miss you.
I know, I miss you too. Say, I love you, Dada. Can you blow a kiss? Un beso.
Until then, she focuses on the word siempre, knowing they'll be together, always and forever. Jacina Coronel, 5 on Your Side.
In regards to the case, Perez has until Christmas week to file any pretrial motions. Friends have created a fundraising page for the family that's raised more than $25,000. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo with this weather impact forecast. We are under a weather impact alert. You already showed us snow in parts of Illinois already.
Yes, that's the first of a couple of systems coming in here, but really the next system unfortunately comes with much colder air. So whatever snow falls is going to stick, even if it's a little bit of snow. And we've been there before. Untreated roadways and a little bit of snow, not a good thing. So hopefully we'll have some treated roadways, and then we'll watch those temperatures plummet as we get into even Sunday morning. 3 for that overnight low temperature and 15 for the high on Sunday. So we still have winter weather advisories anywhere from Litchfield all the way to Vandalia and Flora in Illinois. The one in Clay County ends at 6 o'clock in the morning. The snow is tapering off from this first system, but several inches of snow definitely fell throughout the evening hours to the east of St. Louis. Couple flurries I saw myself around St. Louis, but the temperature has been above freezing, so no issues there. Now the temperatures from Litchfield to Flora right about 30. It was actually about 28 during the evening hours when some of that moderate snow was falling there. But even colder weather comes this weekend, and we're talking Saturday night and into Sunday. The coldest air of the season so far, and some light snow, very possible with that. This is what we're expecting. Here's the futurecast here. One of the models is showing northern sections of the area in the morning hours. Here's St. Louis at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, showing the snow just to the north of Wentzville and also into St. Louis. It is generally light. You might have a pocket of moderate snow, but it goes right through the metro. And with those temperatures in the 20s and eventually the teens, any of the snow that falls is going to stick and likely be an issue, especially on untreated surfaces. So Saturday's snowfall forecast, not a ton, but just a little bit with that cold air is going to cause an issue, and it might just be a trace around the St. Louis area, but maybe an inch or two to the north. So north of the metro, watching Saturday morning. In the metro, noon to 6 p.m. on Saturday is a timing to get any snow showers and probably some issues on the roads. Flurries to the south, but that could also cause some issues. Here's the temperature forecast, 4 p.m. on Saturday, 20 in St. Louis, and then almost midnight we're at 12, and then by morning on Sunday below 0 wind chills everywhere, widespread. So 7-day forecast showing the weather impact alert Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday's high 15 after a low of 3, and then we get down to 8 on Monday, but this is the deal. We're going to warm right back up big time as we get into Monday. 39 for that high temperature, 50 Tuesday, 54 Wednesday, and a chance of rain into the 50s Thursday.
Back in the 50s next week.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Here's Frank.
Kelly, another typical blues performance. Mizzou hoops in action. And I have a story about a young man who was born with 13 fingers and has become a star in his sport. Stick around.
And who doesn't love a good holiday flick? Well, streaming now on 5+, we have a holiday special all about Christmas movies.
8 holiday movies, some new ones, some classic, some forgotten, some so buried they should come with an excavation permit. Welcome to the Take a Look Holiday Movie Special!
I cannot miss Christmas. What an incredibly unique thing about you, Kevin.
Watch the full Take a Look Holiday Special on 5+. We'll be right back.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is now available in Missouri.
The Blues have been the opposite of that one famous line from Godfather 3. You see, with them, it's just when I thought I was in, they pull me back out. Another nauseating night in Nashville for the Note. Steven Stamkos entered the game with 590 career goals. He finished the night with 594. Yes, 4 of them, including the first goal of the game. Robbie Fabry playing his first game for the Note in 5 years, and the comeback was good. He assists on this goal by Hugh McGing that shaved the lead to 2-1, his first NHL goal. But shortly after that, Ryan O'Reilly, the former captain of the Cup team, scores. Nashville rolls 7-2.
For whatever reason, since we come back from Montreal, we've lost those habits and that desire to. The desire to defend our net hard and our desire to get to their net with passion.
I get it. College basketball teams have to play these blood donor games. A team comes to you, you give them a check for $100 grand, and you get a win. But I think Mizzou has played too many of them this season. Alabama State tonight. The key for Mizzou is Anthony Robinson. He had himself a game after the steal, the assist to T.O. Barrett. Later, Robinson will turn the corner for the bucket and one. He had 19 points. The game was a little too close, but Jacob Cruz will seal it with a three. He had 20. Mizzou had an 85-77 victory. Thursday night football, Bucks and Falcons late in the game. Kirk Cousins will hook up with Kyle Pitts for the touchdown. That cut it to 2, but the 2-point conversion failed. Bucks leading by 2 in the dying moments of the game. So when you see this next piece about this bowler behind me, you may think some doctors are simply miracle workers. With the help of photographer Randy Schwenkert, we give you the story. What you're looking at is a 15-year-old bowling phenom. Chase Tippett has bowled a 285, carries an average of 200, and one time in practice, he registered 14 straight strikes. He knew at age 8 this was going to be his thing.
One day I went to a birthday party and I just loved throwing the ball down the lane and just seeing it hit the pins. And ever since after that, I just always wanted to do bowling and loved bowling.
But it's what happened before age 8 which makes Chase's story remarkable. Michelle Cohen is an occupational therapist at Shriners Hospital and explains his diagnosis at birth.
It's called radial polydactyly, and it means that he was born with 2 thumbs, one of which has 3 phalanges.
Tess Tippett is Chase's mom.
We didn't know if he'd be able to do anything normally with his hands, and now he's able to do a sport that he loves passionately, that is primarily done with your hands.
Enter Dr. Charles Goldfarb. He conducted 5 surgeries in the first 4 years of Chase's life. Chase's 2 siblings also had the disease, and he operated successfully on them also. The surgeries Dr. Goldfarb conducted went like this.
So he had extra digits on each hand, which in the first surgery they removed. And then in the second surgery, they were able to remove the extra bone in the thumb. And then lastly, they aligned the muscles, tendons, and nerves so that his hand would function like a normal hand.
What has he meant to you?
He has meant so much. I mean, I'm so passionate towards him. He has done so much to help me to be able to do anything I would ever want to do, especially bowling. Dr. Goldfarb working for Shriners, I can do what I love because they can do what they love.
Is there anything you'd rather watch than watch him bowl well?
No. Every Saturday or Sunday that I could be here at the bowling alley to watch him bowl, it's my proudest moments of the week.
And those surgically repaired bowling hands have lofty goals.
I definitely want to go to college, get a scholarship, and then eventually become a professional bowler.
Wow. I would not bet against him, Kelly. And I think the coolest thing about it is, because he was so young, he doesn't remember his hands looking a little disfigured, and he doesn't remember being made fun of by other kids. All he remembers as a child was he had a lot of bandages on his hands, and the doctor did such a great job, you can't even tell.
I'm glad he doesn't remember the bad stuff. He's an amazing bowler. I know he will get a scholarship. Yep. All right, thanks, Frank. Still ahead, giving back just got easier thanks to new vending machines, where you can find them after the break. Hanukkah begins at sundown Sunday, and St. Louis is ready.
A holiday tradition in downtown St. Louis. This morning, crews lifted a 29-foot arch menorah into place at Keener Plaza. You can see them doing it there. The event was postponed because of high winds yesterday. The Jewish community will light the first candle on Sunday, which is the first night of Hanukkah. Keener Plaza will also host events each night of the 8-day celebration.
Tonight, these vending machines were installed to help our community give back this holiday season. The giving machines are in West County Mall. They allow you to donate to 5 local nonprofits by buying items ranging from $5 to $250. The machines are run by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You can find them at the mall near Dick's Sporting Goods through January 1st. And a reminder, Little Wishes is back to help make the holiday season brighter. for children impacted by foster care. Join 5 on Your Side and the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition to help fulfill 4,000 wishes for area children. Now, there are still about 1,600 wishes to grant. You can buy a gift online. It's so easy to do at ksdk.com/littlewishes. Okay, we have bitterly cold temperatures,
Yes.
but snow also.
Yeah, you know, there's a chance of snow. And when that bitterly cold air moves in on Saturday with highs about 28, but we fall into the teens, any snow that we get, even though it's likely going to be minor, will stick and cause some issues. Lows on Sunday as we clear up, lows starting out at 3, and then the high temperature Sunday about 15, but plenty of sunshine. And then we warm up after that. Monday's high at 39, and can you believe that we'll be in the 50s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and likely continuing into Friday.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.